All right, combinations. So let's take 6x plus 8 equals 50. So again, we are solving equations by performing the opposite operations to both sides of the equations, typically working on bedmass backwards. So on the left-hand side, we have 6 times x plus 8. If we want to work on bedmass backwards, remember, typically, not always, we're going to do the opposite of plus 8, which is minusing 8 from both sides of the equation. Putting the equal sign directly below, on the left-hand side, we have 8 minus 8, which is 0, and we have 6x equals 50 minus 8 is 42. On the left-hand side, we have 6 times x, and performing the opposite operation to both sides that we learned in earlier sections, we're going to divide both sides by 6. On the left-hand side, we have 6 over 6, which is 1. We have x equals 42 divided by 6 is 7. Circle our answer. Check our answer. Rewrite the question. 6x plus 8 equals 50. Carefully substituting the x value back in for x. We have 6 substituting with brackets and carrying everything else down. On the left-hand side, we have 6 times 7, which is 42, plus 8 equals 50. And 42 plus 8 is 50. Therefore, 50 equals 50. Near the answer, x equals 7. Check mark. So let's take a look at a short form. So we have 6x plus 8 equals 50. Well, I have a plus 8. I can cross it off and put a minus 8 on the other side. And on the left-hand side, I have 6x, which is times, so I can cross off the 6 and put it on the bottom of the other side. Then I can say x equals, and 50 minus 8 is 42, divided by 6 is 7. Circle your answer. Check your answer. So, short forms. Be careful with short forms. Okay, let's take a look at x over 3 minus 8 equals negative 3. So, for example, I have a 3 on the bottom, and I could times those sides by 3. But then I'd have to multiply that negative 8 by 3, and I don't want to do that. So I'm simply going to do the opposite operation of both sides of the equation. I have a division on the left-hand side and a minus. I'm typically going to be working on bedmass backwards. So I want to do the addition and subtraction first. I have a minus 8. I'm going to perform the opposite operation of both sides. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides. Plus 8, plus 8. Negative 8 plus 8 on the left-hand side is 0. Cross it off. I'm going to put the equal sign directly below the other equal sign, so it's way easier to read my notes. And then I get x over 3 equals negative 3 plus 8 is 5, adding and subtracting on the number line. Now I have a 3 on the bottom. I want to do the opposite operation. On the left-hand side, it says x divided by 3. The opposite of divided by is times, so I want to times those sides by the number below the letter. On the left-hand side, we have 3 over 3, which is 1. Cross it off. And then we have x equals 5 times 3 is 15. Circle your answer. Rewrite the question. Carefully substitute with brackets the x value back in for x into the question. On the left-hand side, we have 15 divided by 3, which is 5. Carry everything else down. Minus 8 equals negative 3. On the left-hand side, we have 5 minus 8, adding and subtracting on the number line. 5 minus 8 is negative 3. The right-hand side says negative 3, so negative 3 equals negative 3. X equals 15 off to the left circled. Check mark. Let's see a quick method. X minus 8 equals negative 3. I have a negative 8, x over 3, rewriting the question exactly. On the left-hand side, I have a negative 8. I can cross it off and bring it over the other side and change the sign. Now I have x over 3. Pardon my math. I'm going to shrink this up a little bit. I hope you're not writing as large as I am. So on the left-hand side, I have x over 3, which is equal to negative 3 plus 8. Well, now I want to times those sides by 3. So I have to put brackets around the right-hand side, then cross off the 3 and put it where it belongs, distributing the 3 backwards. On the left-hand side, we have x equals. If I times 3 by negative 3, I get negative 9. If I times 3 by 8, I get positive 24. Then x equals negative 9 plus 24 is 15. Circle my answer, check mark. Now, again, very careful with those things, because if you had added 8 and then just like times those sides by 3 and didn't times both sides by 3, be very careful with those things. So again, if we had x over 3 minus 8 equals negative 3, the same question again. and I want to times both sides by 3, I could, but I'm going to put brackets around the whole equation and say times 3. Then I'm going to put an arrow to everything on anything on both sides, timing both sides by 3. The first fraction, x divided by 3 times 3, well, that's just x over 3 times 3. The 3 is over 1, x times 3 is 3x. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Cross it off. Equals x, obviously. So again, if I times x over 3 by 3, I get x. If I times negative 8 by 3, I get minus 24. On the right-hand side, if I times negative 3 by 3, I get negative 9. Then I have this minus 24. I want to add 24 to both sides. And I'm going to get negative 24 plus 24 on the left-hand side is 0. Cross it off. X equals negative 9 plus 24, adding and subtracting on the number line, equals 15. Check mark. So again, you can do anything, you just can't break the laws. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. You have to do something to both sides. If you want to go ahead and do it the first way, I'm going to put a blue line to the left of it and add 8 to both sides, sure. If you want to do the short method off to the right and add 8 and then times both sides by 3, so dangerous, but sure. Or bottom left, if you want to just simply times both sides by 3 first and then clean it up after, sure. Just make sure you check your answer every single time.